So like I said, all police officers in the neighborhoods, wherever you're at during this time, and especially for the federal agents, like I said, talk to people. Don't not speak. See what I'm saying? Communicate with people. People want to know what's going on in their community and what you're doing. All this federal stuff happening, like I said, it could scare a few people. This is the true state. This is true. Some people are startled by the police, which really you shouldn't be, because like I said, if you're not doing anything incriminating or criminal, you really have nothing to worry about. Now, if you got some warrants, then that's a whole different story. But obviously, at the end of the day, if you just stay out of trouble, you wouldn't have to worry about hiding from the police. So for all you are out there in DC that got warrants, I don't think it's gonna be possible for you to be outside and they marching on your block. Because if they know who you are, if they have to check you for any reason or identify you, and you can't say that because at the end of the day, they know who you are. They got you somewhere on the database, and you have a state ID, right? So they could check your state ID and they could see if you got warrants or not. They even have some technology where they Snapchat, they could take a picture of your face, and they could literally find you who you are that way. So there really is no trying to hide anything. If you got a warrant, bro, you might as well just go ahead and deal with that shit. Cause like I said, what you gonna do? You gonna be on the run? What you gonna do once you turn 40 years old, nigga, and you get caught? They gonna throw your ass in jail, and then you're gonna have to serve the maximum time anyway. So you really there is no, getting away from that. Like I said, this is for all my cats out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, as long as you don't commit no crime, bro, there is no reason for them to be out there looking for you. Now, obviously, there's different levels to this shit, right? If you do a hardcore criminal act like murder or some crazy shit, or like what I'm saying, there's gonna be a manhunt specifically just for you. All right, they're gonna put all their resources just to find your ass. All right, and then on top of that, not only that, because people are so gullible that they'll even put money on your ass just so that people will give your ass up. So there really is no hiding from that shit. Think about it. This is why I said, there is no hiding from anything. Those same homeboys in your circle that's talking about, oh yeah, we never gonna snitch, or what I'm saying, we never gonna tell, or I ain't gonna, bro. All they have to do, all the government has to do is say $50K for this person. If you see him, call the police, turn them in. Whoever finds that suspect gets $50K. They could up the amount to however much they want, and someone on your street block is gonna give your ass up, especially for that money. All right, that's some real shit. Someone is willing to give your ass up for some good ass pape. So like I said, then this usually goes for like more hardcore crimes. Not like your petty, little violation or your ticket, or like DUI or some shit. I don't know. This is more for like hardcore crime, like murder and stuff like that. If they really have to find your ass, they will do that. They will do that shit by any means. And then naturally, on top of that, paranoia kicks up. It's gonna kick in. You're gonna be so paranoid, thinking that everybody is looking for you, and that's true. Yeah, they are looking for you. All right. So that is a true thing. All right. So there is no getting away from that. So yeah, when it comes to the military, like I said, rules still apply. Just because the government tells you to do something does not, obviously obey orders, right? Follow orders, follow commands. You know what I'm saying? But if you suspect it to be unlawful, or you suspect it to be something that you know is not right, then you don't act on that. You don't have to listen to their orders. All right. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, they could just arrest me or this, that, the third. Let me go ahead and remind every soldier who you work for. All right. You work to protect not only the Constitution, but the people. All right. You work for us. All right. Now, at the end of the day, what did I tell everybody from the very beginning? The power comes from us. We give the federal government the power for y'all to do what y'all do. So, like I said, remember who you work for. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not telling y'all to disobey the government, but you should have enough common sense to know that, if this shit feels unlawful or is unfamiliar to the objective, you don't have to take that order. There's nothing that they could really do to you except for maybe just, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they'll try to. They're gonna try to intimidate you. That's the natural response, because naturally they don't want their power. They don't want the power to be used against them, but they'll use it against you, your very own people. This is true. I told y'all. This shit is not just, we could do whatever we want to do. And I'm telling y'all this for a reason. I'm telling this is both for the federal government and all people alike. Okay? Just because you're the federal government, just because you work for the government, does not mean you can do whatever you want to do. There's still rules and laws and regulations that you have to follow. You don't get to do whatever you want to do. There's consequences. Alright? Let me remind you, civil war isn't just against civilians. Civil war attacks the government too. I hope y'all understand that. All right, it attacks it attacks police. It attacks all people in uniform, no matter what your occupation, no matter what your job title is, no matter who you are. I don't care if you're the president. This is real shit. All right. Don't think that citizens can't kick y'all's asses. You're dealing with a huge population of people. And like I said, you're being deployed in these neighborhoods that you probably ain't never been in. Civilians know, they're going to know more of the terrain than you are. Alright? They're going to know the spots where to hide out, where to hang out at. You're not going to know that shit. So if there's ever a gun battle for any reason between civilians and government, the army, or whatever it may be, just know You're not safe. Don't think that those Humvees, don't think that those SWAT trucks, don't think that those things are going to protect you. Because there's only so much you could do to protect you and everybody else around you. And like I said, and I'm not inciting violence. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying real life shit. Don't think that your gun is going to protect you. Don't think that those things. No. That's not how this works. A group of people aiming at a small little group of army of the military. It's not a good look. And don't look. Trust me. There's some gun nuts out there. All right. There's some crazy people out there that are waiting for the chance to kick that shit off so that they could take your weapons. Let's be honest now. I'm a fan. I like guns too. I like automatics too. I want an automatic gun too. But I'm just saying that it can happen anywhere. You feel me? So don't think you can't be a target. Don't think that you can't lose your position and lose your life. Because in a real gunfight between the government and citizens, the government loses. I hope you guys understand that. You could sit there and laugh and bluff and smile. It's not funny. The collapse of a society where citizens are fighting its own government, that's not a pretty picture. You're literally not safe, no matter what you do. Tell me, if you have citizens in all places, in apartments and freaking and high rises and on top of buildings and behind freaking grocery stores, whatever the fuck this shit is happening at, you don't think that you can't get hit from any of those positions? When I sit here and I watch the body cameras of the police and the National Guard, and they out there guarding the outside or whatever, I'm just like, bro, in real reality, bro, they will be easily picked off so easily. Those Humvees, those trucks, bro, it's only so much. There's only so much you could do. You know what I'm saying? There's so many open areas for somebody to hit you and to catch your ass. So I hope y'all understand that. Don't treat citizens like shit. And don't just be going out there just blasting at anybody y'all want, because there will be repercussions for y'all's actions. Now obviously I always tell citizens to obey the law. If there's curfew for whatever the reason, head to the crib. Because like I said, when you don't listen, the whole point of the government is to literally be around when the whole shit collapses. So they have to respond in a natural way to a natural disaster in the first place, right? So a national security issue is a real issue. They have to respond accordingly. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, like I said, I don't see national security as, I'm not saying it's not important, but I'm saying that it's not that serious as Trump wants to make it out to be.